All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to this episode of Nifty की बात मार्केट की बात बोल लीजिए मेरे साथ हैं मिस्टर जय ठक्कर एंड मिस्टर राजीव सिंह now right now as we are talking it's 11:50 a.m. and निफ्टी के लेवल्स हैं 25,364 जो कि मेरी स्क्रीन पे दिख रहा है राज जय क्या आउटलुक बन रहा है इस समय आपका मार्केट पे
Hello everyone, and welcome to Nifty ki baat. Let's see, Vishu. I would say starting or continuing from what we discussed yesterday in our Twitter Spaces is that our view was sideways to negative. Fortunately, I would say that it's playing out as per our anticipation. Point one. Second is both of us, I and Raj, were anticipating a bit of I would say uptick in IVs or you say India VIX, and that's also is going so far as far as anticipation. It was quite evident that that has to go up the kind of levels which we have seen considering and or rather comparing it with last 1 year or 250 trading sessions. The probability of it happening or playing out is quite high, and still it is. So that is likely to weigh some pressure on the market, and that's what is happening. We had seen a straddle price actually falling below 100 Vishu, and that is what the strategy we discussed yesterday in the Twitter Spaces of almost like if it drops below 100 or maybe between 90 to 105, as we discussed, that one can go long straddle. And in the morning, 450 straddle was available at around 92 or probably 95. And right now, if you look at it, it's like 18 plus 78. So it's at maybe 98 right now. It had gone to 110. 15-20 rupiah bana tha, 110, 150. And now it's back to 98 kind of a thing. But still, I think that it can go to 110 sort of thing, 450 kind of straddle, which was basically initiated in the morning. Now, I would say that we also had a second view, Vishu, that if market basically falls below 25,400, the probability of a downside would be higher, and that is what has happened. So Nifty is trading below 25,400 right now. So the bears have an upper hand till it continues to be below 25,400. I think it's inching towards 25,350, or in the worst case scenario, maybe 300 as well. Now, blending it with technicals as well, a bit of it. So if you look at this kind of a falling channel, so maybe if I take it here, then so if I connect it to the previous swing low, it would be somewhere around 284, and if I take it even down, then it would be at around 270, 72. So 284 to 70, you can say 280. Roughly, it can test in the worst case scenario. It can test. Now, whether it will close here, I don't know. So from here, it can bounce back as well. Due to volatility, and then close at around 350, 400, or maybe I don't know if it goes to 500 back. I don't know. But that's the range for today. Right there, you are here. So it can do this. Thereafter, we need to see that whether it does this, that is goes down, or probably it bounces back right in the middle, or maybe again to the upper end of the range. But this is what the range is. Now 500 call is 11 rupees, and 250 put is 6 rupees. Now whether to go short on a straw strangle with this kind of IVs, no. People might think that ये range बता दिया है हमें 500 और 250 का मोटा मोटी, तो क्या हम ये रेंज को बेचकर चले आज के दिन? That might work. But if the IVs would have been at 14 odd levels, probably yes, one would do that. But that 11, 12 kind of a thing, I would not suggest that, because what if this breaks here? I don't know. We don't have a reason for this breaking 500 on the upside today. But what if some news comes regarding the deal and this happens? You never know. So that's what it is. Otherwise, it will remain here. But broadly, I would say what kind of a strategy one should be doing right now for an intraday. If you're asking me, then it could be buying in the money put option. So it's like at 43 right now, and 400 wala. So 25,400 is 40 to 43, and you can sell 300 put option. Considering that, even if it's below that 300 and not below that, okay, and expire at 300 only. So buy at 42, 43 and sell at 12 rupees, 11, 12 rupees. So your outflow will be 30 rupees approximately, which is your maximum loss, and your maximum profit will be 70 points. So you're getting around 1:2.3, 2.4 kind of a risk reward, which is a decent risk reward, 1:1. That is what one can do. I mean, a bear put spread till it's below 25,400. If I also said one thing, which was that during the market are slowly, if it comes to 25,300, if it comes, you can attempt a plain vanilla long in the money call option of 25,250, not maybe 300, because if it closes at 300, paisa nahi banega, zero ho jayega no. But 250 and buying 250 and probably selling 300 or 350, 300 probably can get you some good decent risk reward. That you can do while watching this video if those levels come. 25,300 वाला अभी तो ये है till it's below 25,400. And one last strategy would be issue that if it from here, I mean, while the time people view this, and if it bounces back to say 450, then you can buy 500 put and you can sell 450 put, or maybe you can buy 450 and sell 400. So you can do a bear put spread. So broadly, I've seen it's a bearish strategy, only bearish or a bear put spread only at 25,300. You can do one ITM buy and one ATM call sell. So only on dips you can buy call. Otherwise, on rise or at current levels, it is just negative strategy. I don't have a sideways strategy for today at this low VIX. Yeah, over to you, Raj.
Right. Raj, आपका क्या view है?
देखो विशु, like Jay has said, from the intraday perspective, we had this clear opinion that market should be more of a sell on rise than buy on decline. And in case of dips, let's say somewhere around 250 to 300, we may attempt going long. But even why should I do that? There are a number of reasons. Like if you look at the call option concentration, so that is phenomenally higher at ATM 25,400 itself. That is approaching almost 3 crore shares. Bank Nifty has already breached its 3 days low. Bank Nifty is just trying to hold that level, at least in the spot. In futures, it's already broken. So until unless we don't see that covering among the call writers, perhaps we may not be able to see any sort of recovery. See that anything might happen in the last 35 to 40 minutes, and we are not getting into that. But apart from that, from the broader view perspective, even on the intraday basis, I think market remains is a more of a sell on rise. And like we said yesterday also, below 25,400, the view remains on a negative side. So after opening itself, it opens higher. It was a selling opportunity, and since then we are continuously dragging down. So I don't see a reason why we should be opting for any sort of positive recovery. It's of as of now, the data doesn't say that one should look out for the positive. And like we are talking about, and Nifty has given up another 20-30 points. So it's now around somewhere around 360. And overall also, what I believe that this IB spike, it's very minuscule. But when you compare it from the yesterday, yes, it's moved up by almost 1.5% or 2%. And perhaps ahead of TCS result, we might see further spike in IBs. So if at all there could be any recovery, I believe one should be looking at post 230, not before that. And otherwise, if Nifty sustains above 25,400 mark, then perhaps I might be looking out some sort of positive strategy. Otherwise, throughout the day, either the range bound or sell on rise. But the consolidations to negative bias, that's what I said yesterday. That's what we are forming the view, even from the intraday perspective.
Absolutely. So, Jay, given this scenario, क्या strategies would you be looking at?
So intraday strategies I just discussed with you, Vishu. Right now, for the next week, so for the 17th July, wherein we have this uncertainty more because of the VIX going up. Um, you have TCS results today, followed by HCL Tech probably on 14th. You have HDFC Bank result. You have ICICI Bank result. Uh, I mean, next week is also full of results. Large cap heavyweights results. Uh, in that scenario, I mean, buying, probably out of the money call or a put would may make some returns for you, and may get a breakout from this range is what I believe. At these IVs, I'm very sure. I mean, very sure as in I would say with a high probability we should. Then the probability of a breakout on either side is quite likely. I mean, if it doesn't happen, see, I mean, there's nothing 100% as we say, but then 2%, 1%, 5% you can go wrong. One study, a couple of studies which we have done at ISEC is that uh, on the expiry day, 90% of the time, the Nifty's range has been, 1.5% to 2%, or maybe, 90% of the time, Nifty has not gone beyond 2%, kind of a range, or the difference between the high and low. But 10% is, it has, right? Another study which we have done is that for the past 25 years, Nifty has been closing between 0 to 5% for 75% of the time, weekly close. And for the last 7 years, we have seen that it closes for the 93% of the time between 0 to 5%. But then 7% and or maybe 25%, it does surpasses that range, right? So by explaining this all, viewers, I would like to say that the probability of IVs going up and probability of a breakout is higher. I would say, judgmentally, I would say it would be uh, sort of, with 80-85% kind of chance that it will or it may break out from this range. From, it can be attributed that way. I mean, it can be a judgmental probability. Um, but then for that, what kind of a range do you trade, Vishu? So at 25,350, 370 kind of, spot levels. Okay, considering that 450, between 400, 450, whereas you have the futures level. I think, see, I mean, if your results are really good, and something works out from the US, probably you are taking off these 25,700 finally. Okay. Else you are negating this entire rally only, because negating that would just happen below 25,300 according to my analysis. Why? Because I've discussed this in past as well. See, I'll show it to you again. This is the chart of Nifty Vishu. And here is how the daily chart looks like. And I've discussed this earlier that this was the high when it took off. I mean, generally what the traders do, and it's not wrong, but doesn't work always, right? So when the high is taken off, you get a sense of like, it might continue for some time. The high got took off, it went down. It went into a consolidation. This was the high thereafter, and it consolidated. And this is what the range became. This to this. So this was earlier, and then this became this. Okay, and then this got took off. Wow, after almost kind of, this big consolidation, when it took off, this was due to RBI monetary policy, as I can remember or recollect. And then you had this Iran-Israel war, and again failure, right? And then this became the resistance. I mean, this is what it is. And beyond this, everyone on the street had the confidence, and this came with easing out tension between Israel and Iran. It on the first day it could not close above it, although it took off. But that I believe was its Sensex expiry. Up, I don't know, Nifty or Sensex expiry. It was one of those days. It went up, could not sustain, closed down, but then I believe that on a closing basis it did provide a breakout. But then the next day it did provide a breakout, and finally you see. But then this again after 2 days, it's like losing the steam or the momentum. Now, till this doesn't show that kind of a momentum. Yeah, I mean, this could be a continuation above these levels of 25, 550, 600 sort of levels. I mean, thereafter, it could be a continuation, a good continuation. It should be, hopefully, because it's been like quite tiring or maybe, good. And this happens. then probably this is how you can estimate technically, and then from options we can estimate that yes, if that happens, then probably 26,000, 26,000 to 300 kind of levels, maybe near to lifetime highs would act as a resistance, and that's what we can see. What is the probability of this being like this only? I think 15%, because 85% I think it will come out of this because of the AIVs, I think. Now, what if it breaks this 200, not 300, sorry. What if it breaks 300, 200, and then what? Then I think the support comes to 800, 24,800 and 24,500. So that's not less, 400 points kind of a range. So what we can do is, what is your make or break level at 350? It's 200 down, that is 150 points, and probably 500 or 550 up, that is 150, 200 points. So probably we take 550 on the upside and 200 on the downside, little skewed towards the bearish side. That is just taking 150 down and 250 up from the spot angle or from futures angle. So you buy this 550 call at 85 rupees next week, July. And you have 200 put at 75, 78, 75. I mean, till the time you do it, I guess 3 rupees DK will happen. So 75 and 85, we should be around 160 rupees. Now, we cannot just go with that. So, because the break evens will be too far. For a 200, it would be below 25,050, although it will fall to 24,800, below 200, but then still. So what we'll do is we can sell to the level we can expect what first it can happen to. So probably we sell 24,800 to reduce our risk. So probably we sell at 20 rupees out here, the put option, and on the upside we sell 25 400 points. So that will be 900, 25 900. I mean 20 points. So we, in that process, we are getting 40 points as a credit. So net debit would be 120 points. Now this 120 points from 200, we have reduced by 40 points only. You can reduce as per your risk appetite. I mean, maybe you can get one more strike down or up. And if you can reduce it up to 100 or maybe 90, then your break even would be in your favor. So maybe, if your break even, you work it out that the break even is 25, 100 down and maybe, 650 up. तो पैसा बनने के चांस है 650 and 100. So this is kind of a long iron condor is I would suggest at these IVs. And maximum loss would be what if 100 points it is, then it would be 7,500 or maybe 97 to 7,500. Maximum gain would be somewhere around, say, if the difference comes to 300, maybe 200 points, so 15,000. So your upside will be limited up to 15,000. Your downside will be limited up to 7,500. So still you have 1:2 risk reward. This is what it is now. If you want to have a stop loss of 50, 60 points on it, you can. So that's the next week's strategy we issue from my end. Because I don't know, this can continue, Vishu, but I don't see it only because of IVs. वो falter करेगा तो मैंने बताया ना 15-20% chance है. I mean, how do I say today? But that will go up today only, IVs. But from here, maybe any day soon. That is what I think. Yeah, Vishu.
Absolutely. Raj, आपका क्या व्यू है इस वीक के लिए? क्या स्ट्रेटजी आप ऑप्ट करेंगे?
Up to a certain extent, I totally agree what Jay has said. But in terms of directional, so I would like to play a bit negative. It would be more of, okay, at any given point, I'm still not expecting that Nifty will breach 24,800 mark. Okay, and let's suppose because of the low IVs currently which are prevailing, so we can make some sort of a spread where we can buy 25,300 put and sell 24,900 or 24,800 puts. 1:2 sort of strategies, because IVs are going to increase, but moving below 24,800 will be quite negative for the market in terms of positional buyer and the sentiments, because after a long consolidation, I think 2 months of consolidation, we finally broke that range. So perhaps we may retest those level at the best, but moving below that is not something which I'm expecting, at least in this series. So and we are still, this is the second week, we are still 3 weeks away. So what we can do, that your 24,800 or 900 put is currently trading around 27 rupees, if I'm not wrong. And if I buy 25,200, yeah, 25,300 put. So 25,300 put is available at 100 rupees, if I'm not wrong. 25,300, yes, 110 rupees. Okay. And in मतलब अगर मेरे को 24,800 डालना है तो even 25,000 put is also should do. So 25,000 put is available at 37. So 37 means 74 if I'm doing 1:2. So मतलब ठीक है, instead of 25,000 one can take 25 for 900. तो आपका जो कॉल आउटपुट ऑप्शन है वो 26.5 का चल रहा है, तो 27 मान के चलते हैं, तो 54 रुपीज का वी विल गेट द इनफ्लोस. एंड इफ आई एम giving an outflow of somewhere around 110 rupees, so perhaps with a total outflow of 50 rupees, we might look out for a inch in IBs as well as some sort of downward pressure in the market, which we are expecting that in the next week we might witness that. तो मेरे ख्याल से that will make sense. What says Jay? मतलब if I have to take a directional view, तो 25,200 का जो 110 रुपए में चल रहा है वो लेकर, and if we sell 24,900 के दो या 25,000 के दो, 24,900 will make more sense क्योंकि वो 27 रुपए का भी है, और मेरा जो ब्रेक इवन है that will be below 24,800, which is going to be very crucial for us. So I think accordingly we can make that strategy for the next week. 1:2 bear spread.
राइट, एब्सोल्युटली. एक लोग क्विकली हम लोग कंपोनेंट्स पे भी ले सकते हैं क्या?
Sure. Yeah, Raj, go on.
आई थिंक राज आपका थोड़ा सा
मैं ज्यादा उस पे नहीं जाऊंगा. मैं I will just go take this your top 10 index heavyweights, because Nifty movement is very much depends on those top 10 in stock. So starting from the Reliance, and if you look at even at the ITC from the FMCG pack, so SDFC Bank being the highest weighted stock, it is having the highest call base at 2,000. Next is our bank. Then it comes your Reliance. Reliance is having very well, Reliance was the only stock which was relatively outperforming. But after yesterday's news, here also we have seen very aggressive call writing. And whether it's a Bharti, L&T, Infi, TCS. So apart from the IT space, no other stock is having some leg room in terms of call basis. All are either at the ATM or at the most 1% away. In IT, at least you can see a 3 to 4% of leg room, because they are already very, very under pressure. तो यहाँ से एक इमीडिएट बेसिस पे बड़ा अपस्विंग आने के लिए, परहैप्स वो जो अपस्विंग अगर आएगा भी ना, तो that won't last a day. That will continue for a week or so. In that scenario, you will see कि निफ्टी जो है आपका 200-300 पॉइंट नहीं चल रहा है, वो 700-800 पॉइंट चल रहा है. तो उसके लिए आई कैन वेट कि हाँ ठीक है, एक बार कॉल बेसिस क्लोजर हो रहा है, FIs की बड़ी बाइंग आ रही है, लेट्स गो एंड बाय. इट विल बी लाइक दैट. बट अगर मैं नॉर्मल मार्केट में और इस तरीके का सिर्फ डेटा पॉइंट्स को लेकर देखूं, तो अपसाइड सीम्स लिमिटेड, जस्ट बिकॉज इफ आई हैव टू कंसंट्रेट द टॉप 10 स्टॉक्स. तो जब वो आएगी, अगर बाइंग आती है, तो मतलब अभी तो कुछ दिख नहीं रहा कि वो आ रही है, ना ही कोई ऐसा व्यू है, ना ही जो मार्केट में जो इवेंट्स है वो इस तरीके की आपको कुछ इशारा कर रहे हैं कि कुछ बहुत बड़ा चेंज होने वाला है. तो मैं ज्यादा पॉजिटिव होकर नहीं बैठूंगा. ठीक है, पहले दिन का 200-250 पॉइंट का 300 पॉइंट का मूव मिस होगा, बट बिलीव मी दैट 300 पॉइंट्स मूव may extend into 1000 points move as well. So there would be enough room for us to play on a higher side. On an immediate basis, perhaps either the same consolidation or a bit of downside because of the low weeks as we are discussing. That is what my take is as per the top 10 stocks. Yeah, Jay.
Yeah, Raj. Yeah, I mean, I'm with Raj on this, and that's very much reflected in the stocks as well. I mean, when Raj was actually discussing Vishu, I'm audible to you?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, so Raj screens in. So probably that is what I was trying to basically bring those stocks or indices on the screen when Raj was discussing. So here you look at the Bank Nifty chart issue. You will see this sort of wedgish pattern, bearish pattern, doesn't look bullish. It might turn out to be bullish only beyond 57,500 or maybe 800 levels. Till then, it has a probability of an upside. That's something which is not positive. Here I look at the Fin Nifty struggling to move up. So something which is not looking positive too. These are index heavyweights. Now, if I look at the Nifty IT, that seems to have given up as well in today's session. And I could not sustain above the breakout level if you see. So the divergences issue which I was actually discussing yesterday is sort of, just a second, I will add the so here you see issue. This is what I was discussing yesterday. I mean, that's IT. I mean, the price was up. See, price is going up and this is going down. Could not sustain. This shows that definitely, the breath is not positive. Packing is something, which has managed to keep this up. Banking has managed, and this has been mainly because of a couple of banks like HDFC Bank. Bank Nifty index is showing that what if this goes down? Is showing resistance at each level, but the stocks are showing something different, and that's where the confusion is. And I'm not able to make out what exactly it is. Now here you see HDFC Bank. Here you see the line chart. It was not able to take this off. It took off, retested again up, and this is up. Bank Nifty is forming that wedge. HDFC is showing some support here. Now, what if these falters or that falters? I don't know. I mean, I cannot comment on ICICI, so I would ignore that. You see Kotak, what happened? So Kotak, if you see, it was just going down. But then suddenly, business update, up, gap up 3-4% up, suddenly change. And this is like showing strength. Bank Nifty setup is not. Now, if you see Axis Bank has fallen quite a lot. Now what? You're stuck in the range. Absolutely in the range. What if this breaks down like HDFC, falters, or maybe it goes up again here? I don't know. See, so how do I know is that rather when I'm sure, not sure, I stay away, or maybe I do either side strategy which I did for Nifty. पता नहीं किधर, तो इधर या उधर. Because IT looks negative. When I had shown the Nifty IT chart, Bank Nifty doesn't look positive, and Fin Nifty likewise has formed this. It's not showing negative. In MACD it is. In PST is not. Now this has faltered again. So from here it goes down, down, down again. Now what? Next, will it go up here or maybe down only? But banking back and its components, other two, if I take, यहाँ पे ये वाला चार्ट आएगा नहीं, थोड़ा स्प्लिट की वजह से, but then I take Bajaj Finserv probably. Now that's likewise you can assume is what is the case with Bajaj Finance. Both are stuck in the range. I don't know. The range has to break out. I mean, this has a BFSI has around. Now see, life insurance companies seems to have given up. So as a disclaimer on media today, I recommended a short on HDFC Life and seems to be going down now, weakening. So I would say profit booking, not shorts. A decent run up seems to be losing the steam now. You see, the highs are way far. The same seems to be with SBI Life. So among the BFSI, one thing is very clear that insurance, the high part seems to be going. The negative divergence also that could not. I mean, see, since here the momentum has weakened. like it's going down. I mean, it seems to be reversing. Had a good rally. So now some profit booking can't be ruled out. So high seems to be going away. Now, banking and financial services very much stuck in a range. I mean, I and Raj were discussing this yesterday as well. I mean, if you look at how is this? See this. So I mean, see the range. So and then how does this come? Let me try here. SHRTRA. SHRTRA. There it is. This is also not showing properly, but yeah. So see, we should again quite into the range, stuck. So this B and F, that is banking financial services, is like, I don't know, making me confusing right now. I mean, I'm absolutely honestly admitting that I don't know. See, I can see the momentum weakening. See the momentum here straight up, down. It's like momentum is weaker. Now seems to be going down as well, giving a sell crossover. Now looking at this, how technically now how is it placed derivative point of view? That would be a profit booking. I mean, we don't see a shorts in Shriram, probably on Chola. When banking financial doesn't have much of shorts, right? So if at all there is a downside, it would be a profit booking as of now, initially. I don't know if things worsen, then probably you see that short build up and all, but that outlook we don't have. So probably first quarter results we all know may be muted or below expectations or not great, but if what if guidance is positive, I don't know what's going to happen. It's difficult for me to understand that because everyone knows that first quarter could be negative, but what if guidance is very much positive? Business update like Kotak provided. I don't know all of that. I don't know. I mean, that you come to know when it comes. How do I position myself? So probably I stay out or I do straddles or strangles on the long side or maybe butterfly or long hand condor something which I think that either side it could happen because of results. And if that happens to be sideways, is anyone's guess. I don't know. That kuch hi nahi hua. I think that is first quarter. Many things around tariff happening right now. Your results probably you have something at low IVs. Probably you have something. I mean, it's just that the IVs require something to go up. Still doesn't come in a long monthly expiry. I mean, happening on the last day with such IVs. Still, if Nifty manages to hold on to its range, then great. That's difficult to actually preempt. That ये 200 पॉइंट में पूरा महीना निकल जाएगा. I mean, I don't know. But this is the only sector issue which is quite sideways and can change the game. I think this and IT because the rest FMCG, as I was discussing yesterday. What is it? I don't know what is this. I don't know, but FMCG is positive. MNC is positive. Oil and gas is positive. That is it. I mean, as far as Nifty index is concerned, as I said, I mean, I would not spend much time on the screen right now. I would rather give it to you and Raj now to hand over to you guys to take it forward. But this is what I actually wanted to convey, Vishu, that banking financials on its own is not signaling too much of upside. Wherein I just look at the banking is not signaling downside. When I look at the financials, it's like signaling very much sideways. So where do I go? What do I do? I don't know. So probably in those kind of scenarios, either I wait for a breakout, because it's something I have to have, right? Long build-up है तो चलो यहाँ से buy करो, dip पे buy करो, अब एक future लेके call बेच दो, future लेके put ले लो, something you do. But एक direction ही नहीं पता है. So how do I trade? Probably there are four kind of things. One is bearish, bullish outlook, bearish outlook. One outlook is sideways. That is, you mean that is going to oscillate. ऐसे ये oscillate हो रहा है. And one is that is going to go either ways. चार चीज हुआ तो my inclination or my analysis says that, or maybe what I anticipate is that either ways, either कुछ हो जाए is what I'm anticipating. So because of which all of this, I issue suggested long and condor. I mean that's the rationale.
Absolutely. Raj, anything to add?
नहीं मतलब देखो मार्केट में तो है ही कंफ्यूजन. सो what Jay said is absolutely right. Now when you are confused, then the best part is to stay out or you form a view. And for both of us, we are expecting volatility to increase. Okay, whatever the reason, whether it would be the result which will come, मतलब primarily people will look at the banking results, जो आपको next week में जिसका impact आएगा. This week we have some of the IT names, but मतलब if we are expecting increase in IV, then obviously option selling, naked option selling, that doesn't make sense because we have seen कि जब आपका IV थोड़ा सा भी बढ़ता है, मतलब जो वेगा इम्पैक्ट आता है आपके ऑप्शंस में, सो इवन यस्टरडे थ्रू आउट द डे देयर वाजंट मच ऑफ थीटा डिक्लेयर, क्योंकि आपका वोलेटिलिटी इतनी कम होगी कि और कम क्या करोगे उससे. So when we are expecting some sort of increase in the volatility, then perhaps either you stay out or make your strategy accordingly. Stock is specific, Nifty is behaving differently, your portfolio is behaving differently. In last couple of days, even mid cap and small cap, they have also come under pressure, but उनमें इस तरीके का वो नहीं लग रहा है कि वो लेथार्जिक हो गए हैं, रेंज बाउंड है, समथिंग लाइक दैट. वहां पर फिर भी थोड़ा बहुत मूव है, स्टॉक स्पेसिफिक यू कैन आइडेंटिफाई. बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू निफ्टी, you pick any of the top 5 or 7 stocks, 10 stocks, and tell me how much they have moved in last 15 days. SDFC Bank is there only around 2000 levels since the 26th of June. Our bank has remained around those levels since 26th of June. Reliance was the only one which has shown some sort of positive vibe, but yesterday after that news it also came back to those levels. So across the board, at least heavyweights, they are not showing any sign of momentum. Now if you are taking a call on the volatility, then play according to that. So for me, volatility is going to increase. Perhaps it might come on the lower side. And as of now, just because Nifty is beyond 25,400, I'm not talking about कि okay ठीक है बहुत बड़ी decline हो जाएगी. We are just talking about कि ठीक है हो सकता है कि जो 12% क्या वो 13-14% हो जाए, और उसकी वजह से हो सकता है कि 1%, 1.5% sort of move you might even see in Nifty. So I'm just looking to capture that move, and that's why we had given this strategy कि ठीक है 1:2 करते हैं, क्योंकि we are not expecting कि बहुत बड़ी डिक्लाइन आ जाए कि हम जो है 23,000 पे दिखाई देंगे, इस तरीके का अभी कुछ भी दिमाग में नहीं. But to change the bias on a positive side, I need some concrete activity from the option side also. कि हाँ भाई स्टॉक्स में भी जिस तरीके से ऑप्शन राइटिंग हुई है, क्या वो हमारी खत्म हो रही है या नहीं, या वहां पर लोगों को डर लग रहा है नहीं. ऐसा ऑफ नो आप कोई भी स्टॉक दें, मतलब नॉन इंडेक्स में भी आप जरा देखो कि एनटीपीसी विच इज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट परफॉर्मिंग नेम रिसेंटली, आई वुड से कि हाँ अच्छा चला, बट वहां पे भी जो 345 की कॉल स्ट्राइक है दैट इज ह्यूमंगस, और वो उसको नहीं पार कर पा रहा. आप ओएनजीसी देखो, आप ऑयल इंडिया देखो, आप मोस्ट ऑफ द पीएसयू बैंक्स देखो, सबके साथ से मार. तो एक जो डेटा आपको इंडिकेट कर रहा है कि वो ये कह रहा है कि यार भाई इमीडिएट बेसिस पे अपसाइड्स कम. तो अगर अपसाइड कम है और मैं वहां पे गलत जाता हूं, देन आई एम अगेन सेइंग कि वी हैव इनफ टाइम, इनफ रूम टू प्ले फॉर दैट. 200-250 पॉइंट मिस होता है तो कोई बात नहीं, वो 1000 पॉइंट का मूव है. बट जब तक वो नहीं हो रहा है तब तक इट्स बेटर टू ईदर स्टे आउट ऑफ द मार्केट, और जस्ट बिकॉज इफ यू आर ट्रेडर, if you're an investor, then definitely you should move out of the market right now because there isn't any rational bet. But even if you're a trader, then it makes sense to look out for you might be looking at increased volatile market. क्योंकि आपके 15 दिन हो गए, हो सकता है अगला हफ्ता भी ऐसे ही रहे, आई एम नॉट डिनाइंग दैट, बट जो उसके बाद के लास्ट 2 वीक्स होंगे, माय सेंस इज दैट वी आर गोइंग टू विटनेस अ डायरेक्शन, at least 2 to 3% sort of Nifty move is I am expecting by the end of the July.
Absolutely. Right. ठीक है, तो in the interest of time, let's move on to the concluding remarks. Jay, what is the final thought you'd like to leave us with?
Well, friends, I would say that, see, I mean, weeks can go up, can affect markets by a couple of percentage points on the downside, which has a higher probability, right? But when we form a view, I mean, when by we, I would say that I and the viewers, I mean, or maybe when one forms a view, we'll put it that way, one has to have a level in mind beyond or below which one can review it or exit once. If cannot, and review it as well, and then form a next view upon or reverse his view beyond or below that point. And if doesn't want to be reverse, then maybe at least review and exit, and then thereafter take a next step. So now what I mean is that, suppose if we have a sideways to negative view, for that, for me the level is 25,600. For someone who is a bit conservative can have 25,700, which is also not wrong. Someone might have on an intraday basis and someone might have on a closing basis. And because why on a closing? Because what if something like this happens, that it go up and then close down, and then someone who was long here at the top might as well out of fear would have squared up everything on the close and made loss, and then again on the next day. So rather than doing that, you just wait for a close to happen. But someone who did on a closing basis here is again losing from the day is long on the closing basis. So who's right, who's wrong is just that the practice which you do on a continuous basis. But then for me, 25,600, I think beyond that, I will review my bearish outlook or a sideways outlook. And probably beyond that, or maybe beyond 25,700, I might turn bullish. Okay. That's what's my suggestion. Likewise, friends, you can also have your view. Now, if someone is bullish right now, then someone can say that, yes, I mean, I'm bullish, and I mean someone. If someone is bullish, he or she can have a view that till it doesn't close below 25,200, I want to sell. तो टूटा तो हम निकलेंगे, अदरवाइज हम रुकेंगे. In patience, that once this consolidation is over, it goes up again. That is also not wrong. But then what I mean to say that for whenever you enter into a trade, have a proper exit plan. And that exit plan, you should have a plan A, that is to review and act, that is reverse, or maybe just exit. That is it. So these are the two things only which you can have. But have this exit plan well before your entry. Else, what will happen is you will miss out on what to do next. Maybe something which can be bigger than what you are anticipating. So if we are anticipating 25,000 to 24,800, maybe a limited downside. बट मैं 600 या 650 या 700 निकलने के बाद मैं 500-600 पर ऊपर मिस नहीं करना चाहिए. If that's the case, so have an exit plan and reviewing plan as well when you enter, so that you know how to act. You should. नहीं तो आप आपका टाइम निकल जाएगा. That is what I can say. And mostly, why I'm telling you this is mainly when you are into a consolidation phase. तो कंसोलिडेशन फेज क्या होता है, जब थोड़ा टाइम हो जाता है ना, फिर डायरेक्शनल मूव आता है. वो कंसोलिडेशन फेज में आपने प्रीएम्प्ट किया नीचे और ऊपर चले जाए तो आप ऊपर का मूव मिस कर गए डायरेक्शनल, एंड आपने ऊपर का प्रीएम्प्ट किया था और नीचे आ गया तो आप नीचे का मिस कर गए. कुछ तो मिस हो ही जाएगा आपका if you're on the wrong side. So if you get caught up on the wrong side, you have a review level. इसके beyond मैं कर दूंगा. I mean that is what I would say. In a continuation आपको उतना ज्यादा रिव्यू करने की जरूरत नहीं है. आप चेंज ना हो, रिवर्स ना हो, बट कंसोलिडेशन के पहले अगर आप एंटिसिपेट कर रहे हो तो वो रिव्यू का रखो, बिकॉज यू डोंट मिस आउट, बिकॉज व्हाटएवर हैपेंस फास्ट. या
राइट राज, आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
Well, my sense is clear because it's quite a low volatility, and we are expecting some increase in volatility. So uh, I won't be writing ATM strikes. If at all you are an option writer, I would pick at least 2% away, at least 2% away, just to be on a safer side. And I'm expecting some sort of increase in the volatility from the next week onwards. So I want you guys to be a bit prepared for that. We may go wrong. Market may spend another 1 week in the same consolidation, but it's better to lose some trade than the capital.
Absolutely. All right. So this was it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back next week on Twitter Spaces and here on YouTube. Hope to see you then as well. And thank you so much, Jay and Raj, for your insights.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risk. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.